You're listening to Kerry Lutz's Financial Survival Network, where you get valuable information you just can't find anywhere else. To thrive in today's trying times, you need the Financial Survival Network, now more than ever. Go to financialsurvivalnetwork.com and get your free newsletter and gift. Financial Survival Network, now more than ever.
And welcome. This is Financial Survival Network. I'm your host, Kerry Lutz, and want to share something with you that I have just come to the realization of. TrumpGPT. And that is Trump's personal AI assistant that generated the battle plan for his reemergence as president in 2025. And hopefully this will be known as the year when the deep state lost control. AI is just truly changing the political landscape. It's never going to be the same. Somebody has been working with AI now for 3 years in various platforms. I can tell you that when you see it in motion, when you see it actually going down, when other people are using it, you just know in your bones that that's what's happening. And when Trump returned to the White House on January 20th, 25, it wasn't just a comeback. It was an op. It was precise, premeditated, and most shockingly, machine-driven. And I'm telling you that because I can smell AI a mile away. Now, the mainstream media, they called it chaos, but the insiders knew better. This was an AI-orchestrated multi-year masterstroke to dismantle the permanent administrative state. From the flood of executive orders to the agency-level purges, the pace was inhuman because it was inhuman. Most of it was generated by, let's call it, TrumpGPT. And the legend of Trump 2.0 won't just be written in history books. It's already etched in source code. Look, lawfare is one thing, but this is beyond lawfare. This is legal war games, pre-played, pre-won. And the most stunning part, every lawsuit, every legal challenge, and every activist ambush was anticipated and prepared for, if you can believe it. Trump's team didn't just react. They counterattacked using pre-scripted filings, every headline-grabbing indictment, lawsuit, every blue state legal maneuver was mirrored in a ready-to-launch countermeasure. They weren't just defending the castle. They flipped the script. They flipped the chessboard. Behind the scenes, hundreds of simulations had already been run. Custom-trained AIs had combed through 100 million court records, practiced arguments in mock court scenarios, and spat out the optimal responses in hours, sometimes minutes, sometimes even seconds. The system even calculated media spin. By the time CNN got the memo, the rebuttal was already live on Truth Social or on X with the video receipts. You know, they moaned and groaned about Project 25, something written by the Heritage Fund, the Heritage Organization, the Heritage Foundation, but this was way beyond that. In fact, I would postulate that the Heritage Foundation's Project 2025 was actually a decoy, academic, measured, fully public. Meanwhile, the real kill switch was buried deep in encrypted drives trained on every betrayal and blind spot from Trump's first term. It wasn't about reform. It was about full-on digital counterinsurgency. AI's task: identify bureaucratic resistance nodes, predict sabotage from within, simulate GOP cowardice, which didn't really take much effort because that's baked into the cake, develop override protocols for hostile judges, rogue intel, and algorithmic censorship. Neutralize them one by one. Look, it was all gamed out. He came in there, he signed like 100 executive orders almost before he took his hand off the Bible and finished swearing in. those things didn't just appear. And I can tell you, being America's top recovering attorney, if he had had a law firm involved in this, even a trusted law firm, it would have required 50, maybe 100 associates. The bills would have been staggering, and it wouldn't have been able to be kept secret. All of this was kept secret. All of it was just sprung upon the Democrats and the American public. Look, the deep state is predictable. It has patterns, media patterns, legal delay patterns, PSYOP patterns. Trump's team fed it all into the AI, and the result, pattern recognition in real time. What you saw wasn't Trump winging it. You saw versioned playbooks that had been trained on every major federal battle of the last 50 years. Watergate, Iran-Contra, Bush v. Gore, Russiagate, J6, and everything in between. Look, this is a digital, datafied uprising where Trump's instincts met a machine's infinite memory and recall. 2020 was the setup. 2025 was the execution. Now, I don't believe he wanted to lose 2020, but I believed he needed to lose 2020. That's how he learned their rhythm. That's how the AI got its data set. The entire post-2020 war, pandemic, mail-in, censorship, fake ballots, the narrative machine fed the model. By the time 2024 rolled around, they didn't just have a campaign, they had a program for conquest. Opposition still playing at human speed. I mean, it's beautiful when you think about it. This isn't an accident. It didn't just happen. It's been planned out. And the only way it could have been planned out in this meticulous detail, and I challenge any of you out there to prove me wrong here. I challenge any of you. Look, every federal agency, every judge, every alphabet soup spook department, suddenly they were slower, sloppier, reactive. For the first time, the swamp was outgunned and outmaneuvered. Trump was no longer playing defense. He was playing offense. Look, it's like watching the art of war rewritten in Python. And as for the press, they were never going to keep up, and that was the point. By the time they reported it, it had already been executed, countered, and memed into irrelevance, and there were 10 other things that they were trying to catch up with. And if it all feels a little too on point, like every crisis was forecasted in advance, it's because it was. Almost like somebody had been warning us for decades. Look, even the battle with Elon Musk, it was obvious that the two of them, the world's just not big enough. The U.S. government only has one president, and that's Trump. I hate to say it, but Elon was expendable, not because they wanted to expend him, but because of his temperament, his idealism, his belief in perfection, attainable perfection. It's just not compatible with government. So look, postscript here. Do you want to understand the cycles, the collapse, and the AI future before it happens? Martin Armstrong already mapped it. The world, according to Martin Armstrong, it's more than a biography, it's a roadmap. Trump's not the first to follow it. Martin has been using AI almost since there were transistors. I don't know how he did it, but he did it. He's made some amazing calls. I'll tell you, the latest call he made was in 2018. He told me in an interview, it's in the book, he said, Kerry, the Dow Jones Industrial is going to hit 45,000 somewhere between the end of 2022 and 2024. December 14th, 2024, you know what happened? It hit 45,000. Gee, well, Armstrong's a fake. He doesn't know anything. Bull. He's the real deal. So look, there's a link in the show notes. Click it. Get your copy of it. I'll make you this guarantee. If you don't like the book, send it back to me. I'll give you back twice what you paid for it. If you had followed this book's advice in 2018, who knows where you'd be? Because while the Dow roughly doubled, man, the FANGs were going up way, way more than that. Anyway, if you got a question or comment, shoot me an email, kl@kerrylutz.com. click that link in the description, pick up Martin's book. I'll also put a click for my Substack so you can share in this material when it's released. Thank you all for watching. We'll be back soon.
Thanks for listening to Kerry Lutz's Financial Survival Network, your solution to today's trying times. For the latest, go to financialsurvivalnetwork.com. Financial Survival Network, now more than ever.